At this time, a burst of fire suddenly appeared behind them, turning the originally dark night into red. Ziyu hurriedly turned around, and saw that the two-story small building where they had almost died just now was ignited in an instant. The wooden buildings burned, and there was a crackling sound of wood cracking, a bit like the sound of firecrackers. With this heavy snow, it also had a taste of Chinese New Year. Zhufei touched his chin and asked Ziyu, "Ziyu, did you say those ninjas died?" Ziyu asked back, "Is it possible to survive such a big fire?" Zhufei waved his hand. "I didn't mean that, I mean, did the benefactor kill them first and then set the fire, or did he just put them all in a pot?" Ziyu felt a bit of cold air coming out of her back, and immediately shook her head. "This kind of thing, I can't say it." After that, Charlie's figure appeared in her mind again, and she couldn't help muttering, "Benevolence, he is not a mortal. I really want to know what his identity is." Zhufei smiled and said, "If you want to know, let the family check it out. In the country, who else has a clue that we can't find?" Ziyu shook her head. "Benevolence obviously doesn't want us to know his identity. If we deliberately investigate, what if we anger him?" Zhufei smacked his lips. "Oh, that's what I said." After that, he thought of Charlie's previous conversation with Iga Kamino and said, "By the way, when I was covered with my head just now, I heard Ngong tell the Iga family that he seems to be the Ito family Missy's friend?" "Oh yes." Ziyu nodded and blurted out, "The reason why he came here is for Ito's daughter." Zhufei said, "It seems to be called Nanako?" "Yes." Ziyu blurted out, "It's Nanako, a very beautiful girl, and she's also a martial artist." Zhufei said in some gossip, "Hey, Ziyu, do you think Grace is Nanako's boyfriend? Maybe he can even become Ito's future son-in-law. Let's cooperate more with Ito in the future. More contact, maybe there is still a chance to see Grace." Ziyu heard this and suddenly became very uncomfortable. She was extremely disappointed and asked, "Is Grace really Nanako's boyfriend?" "Grace is Chinese, why should he be with a woman from Japan? Shouldn't he fall in love, get married, or have children with a Chinese woman?" Thinking of this, Ziyu sighed faintly, and said, "Let me call Dad first." "Okay." Zhufei nodded, bent over and grabbed a handful of snow from the ground, and smeared it on his face, sighing with emotion. "Oh, the feeling of the rest of my life is really good. Tokyo at this moment. The chaos remains. The TMPD has been driven mad. First, the Su family's brothers and sisters were kidnapped and a dozen people were killed. Then the Takahashi family found several human popsicles. Then, Takahashi's son was burned alive in the car. These few things, if you take out one of them, can be regarded as an annual criminal case. However, in a very short period of time, one after another broke out in Tokyo. Moreover, almost all the top big families are involved. This is simply stepping the TMPD's face on the ground, and then repeatedly beating with a belt desperately. Even worse, the TMPD has not found any useful clues. A bunch of waste wood was almost digging 3 feet into Tokyo, and they still couldn't find a clue to the Su brothers and sisters. They didn't even know who did it, let alone where they were. Therefore, the entire TMPD was collectively caught blind. Zin was about to lose patience. The life and death of his son and daughter are still unknown, and his whereabouts are unknown, and he has to wait endlessly for the rubbish of the TMPD. For him, it is simply the greatest suffering in his life. Just when he was planning to contact the Japanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs directly to raise the matter to a major diplomatic incident, he suddenly received a call from a local Japanese mobile phone number. After he connected suspiciously, he immediately heard Ziyu's voice. "Dad, it's me." Ziyu. Hearing his daughter's voice, Zin's heart almost jumped out. He blurted out with excitement, "I know." At this time, Ziyu on the phone hurriedly interrupted him and said, "Dad, is there anyone else around you? If there are, don't let others know that I am calling." The human-like Zin looked around. In addition to his own people, there are a few heads from the TMPD and even a few cabinet members, so he hurriedly changed his words. "Do you know me? Very busy now? Hang up if there is nothing important, just say if there is something important. Ziyu said, Dad, brother and I are safe now. We have been rescued, but we are not in Tokyo, but in Kyoto. While Zin breathed a sigh of relief, he couldn't help but frown and look at the people from the TMPD. At this time, he hated these idiots in his heart. These dumb donkeys? They vowed to tell me that the other party is very likely to hide in Tokyo, and it is unlikely that they will go out of the city. Furthermore, they also said that they blocked Tokyo's external traffic in time and set a strict check on all those who left the city. So the son and daughter are definitely in Tokyo. It just takes time to find them out. The results of it? People are in Kyoto, hundreds of kilometers away. I really want to take a knife and engrave the word idiot on their faces. However, Zin also knew that now is not the time to be angry, so he asked, What do you need me to do? Ziyu said, Dad, don't tell the people in the TMPD. I doubt their abilities, and they are likely to leak information, so I want you to send our own people to Kyoto. Pick me and brother. Zin said immediately, Okay. Ziyu said, Also, Dad. The kidnapper was Ryoto Matsumoto in Tokyo. He wanted to kill us and then blamed Takehiko Ito, so he brought us to Kyoto. What? Zin's tone suddenly became extremely gloomy. It's him?